Super Smash Bros. Is a series that needs no introduction. If you're alive today, you've probably heard of Super Smash Bros. And if not, it's a fighting game where all sorts of Nintendo characters and friends duke it out. There's also tournaments for the game where stuff like this happens. Smash Bros. Is one of Nintendo's most successful independent products, ranking just above Animal Crossing for top-selling franchises. And of course, with any amount of success comes people who just want to ride on the coattails. So today we'll be looking at Super Smash Bros. Clones, as you might have guessed by the name of the video. Now, I wasn't able to get my hands on the games I originally wanted to review, such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up and Battle Station Dawn, and this is for two reasons. One, the fact that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now costs anywhere from $25 to $50, and Battle Stadium Dawn costs $80, and I would have to buy a Japanese PS2 due to region lock. But I do still have some in my possession that I'd like to talk about. Now I know what you're thinking. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is a game that has been ridiculed to death. It was PlayStation's attempt at emulating the popular Smash Bros. Formula. Popular PlayStation characters and friends kicking the crap out of each other. What's not to enjoy? Well, I actually don't think it's that bad of a game. It gives some PlayStation characters we haven't seen in a long time some much needed love. Instead of smash attacks and tilts, there's 3 different sets of attacks based on what button you're pressing and the direction you're pressing. There are some issues with it though. Unlike Super Smash Bros., where the goal is to knock your opponent off the edge of the screen, the whole point of PlayStation All-Stars is to hit your opponents enough to build up action points that fill your bar to unleash a super attack. The main issue with this is that whether or not you land your super attack isn't really based on skill so much as it is based on complete luck or convenience. It makes the game less fun to play when you spend like 5 minutes building up a super move and something stupid happens to cost you a kill or interrupt your super move.
You're mine. How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I...
There's 3 separate levels of super moves, with level 3 being 9 times out of 10 a kill everyone move. There used to be issues with characters like Zeus, Big Daddy, and Sweet Tooth having cheap moves to constantly get more AP than anyone else, but I think the most recent balance patch fixed these issues. Like I said, the game isn't bad and it's fun to play with friends. I just don't know how you would play it competitively. It was also a good substitute to play on my Vita for that Smash Bros. Fix on the go, until the 3DS actually got Smash Bros. Then I just kinda stopped playing it altogether. By far, my favorite character is Cat from Gravity Rush. Just look at her, she's so cute! And she's so easy to chain combos with. The next game is on the PC, and it's called Brawlhalla. Now, Brawlhalla is still in very early beta, and it's hard to review a game in beta because things that are problematic now may or may not be problems later. Let's start out with the good for once. The game plays incredibly smooth, and it looks amazing. It's incredibly fun to play. The characters are designed well, and the music sounds great too. But instead of using your fist to fight, the game encourages you to use 2 different kinds of weapons, a heavy weapon and a quick weapon. There's also an in-game store where you can purchase different costumes and taunts. Sometimes proceeds even go to charity. Now, unfortunately, the bad. 1, what is all this? Why is the game not in full screen on menus? No one makes any grunts or noises at all in any fights or anything. None of the characters have any personality and they don't even blink. Frankly, it just kind of creeps me out. The backgrounds are kind of boring and bland, and a lot of the characters seem like they have the same attacks and speed. Sometimes 2 entirely different button combinations will result in the same attack. Your damage indicator and life counter is up here in the corner, but it may just be me, but that doesn't really do it. I'd rather have a percentage. There's also only like 2 to 3 items to use in a battle. The game is definitely not finished though, and I'm not even joking, while I was writing this review, the game updated 3 times, meaning everything I just complained about may be fixed now. The biggest problem of all has gotta be that the game isn't even finished yet, and people are already kicking the crap out of me online. It's madness. Now there's one more game, and I really don't want to do this, but it's the last one, so let's just get it over with. Cartoon Network's Punch Time Explosion Extra Large. Just the name, Punch Time Explosion Extra Large, sounds like something you'd find on Spike TV or Pornhub. and I gotta say I'm disappointed that it's not. Cartoon Network's Punch Time Explosion Extra Large, or just Punch Time Explosion as I will be calling it from now on, is exactly what you think it is. A poorly made Smash Bros. Clone featuring Cartoon Network characters as fighters. I'm not even trying to be funny here, this is legitimately one of the worst games I've ever played. It came out on 3DS originally, about 3 months after the 3DS actually came out. And it doesn't look that bad on 3DS, but let's compare 3DS to PS3. Yeah, there's no excuse. The PS3 version should look better by leaps and bounds. But it's like they picked up the 3DS version and just said, "Hey bud, can we just take the 3DS version and put it on major consoles without changing anything at all?" Alright, thanks. The game is running at 480p, but for some reason it's an issue with my recorder, causing it to scale down to 480p. But I was able to record Sonic 06 at 1080p, so... Punch Time Explosion has a story mode and an array of battle modes. Now we'll get to story mode, but let's just take a look at Punch Time Explosion, okay? In every single way, it is a blatant plagiarism of Smash Brothers. Jab combo, up tilt, down tilt, slide attack, smash attack. They even went as far as to straight rip Luigi's falling animation as well as Yoshi's down air. But that's not all. They even took counters. Yeah. Look at that, that's disgraceful. The game actually has a pretty large roster. You know, you got Ben 10 twice, Johnny Bravo, the Toiletnator for some reason, and Captain Planet? I'm not hallucinating, right? That is Captain Planet. Why? I mean, even as a kid from the 90s, Captain Planet was going off the air right when I was growing up. Why is he here? All these characters are locked, and the only way to unlock them is by, yes, playing the story. Well, without further ado, here's Cartoon Network's Punch Time Explosion.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome to... Hey, wait a minute. I've been hosting so much, I'm actually introing on my day off. I finally got some me time to put on my casual tights, snuggle up, and watch my favorite shows. Let's see what's on Cartoon Network.
Now you may be asking yourself, yo, that voice sounds familiar, dog. Well, good on you for picking that up. That's Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. Now you may also be asking yourself, Jesus, he's not going to talk the entire time, is he? Oh yeah, he is.
Ooh, I think I remember this episode. Is this the one where Dexter builds a travel machine?
I'm sorry, a what? A travel machine? Did you mean like a bike? Or possibly a car? Also, what did they animate this on? Kid Pics? Microsoft PowerPoint?
All right, Ben's in Chowder's world. This ought to be like taking candy from a baby, or food from a world whose whole economy is based on food.
You're not funny and nobody likes you.
Here it is, the story mode for Punch Time Explosion. It looks really familiar, but I just can't put my finger on it. Gee, if only I could remember why it looks so familiar. It's almost like it's literally Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. No one except the narrator has any voice acting. Instead, we get little clips like this. What, could they not afford to pay the voice actors to record these lines? I guess not. I'm just assuming at this point that they try to put the least amount of effort into making this game as possible. Oh yeah, you saw that. That was a throw. And that was me apparently using a special move too close to the edge, even though in a good game, the edge would stop me. Not only did they rip off Smash Brothers, but they also ripped off PlayStation All-Stars. When you fight enemies, you collect these power cubes that build up this bar down here. And when it's full, you can unleash a Punch Time Explosion attack. Wait a minute. PlayStation All-Stars came out in 2011. And Punch Time Explosion came out in 2012. So that actually means PlayStation All-Stars ripped off Cartoon Network's Punch Time Explosion. By the way, in case you're wondering what's going on in the story, Vilgax, evil, oh no. And now we have to protect Mung Dal. Just look at how goofy he is. Look at his walk cycle. Also, he jumped right in the way of enemies.
Chowder, this is one Buttercup you don't want to mess with. Buttercup versus Ben 10? I'm gonna pop up some old poppycorn and kick back and enjoy this.
Go Pigs!
The narrator is easily the worst part of the game. Every time I hear him talk, I find myself grinding my teeth. Oh yeah, you saw that right too. It just flashed the whole screen to change stages, completely interrupting our fight and disorienting me for like a good 10 seconds. This game also has its own version of assist trophies, but sometimes they'll hurt you even if you're the one that used them. Why? This is such a poorly made game. I don't know how this was ever released. It's not even like a finished game. Also, I found out that with most of these enemies, you don't even have to fight them. You can just walk right past them or just push them straight off the stage. That label isn't even attached to the barrel. Now we're in Stormalong Harbor, Flapjack's level. Now, say what you want about Flapjack, but I actually kind of liked the show when it was on. And the level doesn't actually look terrible. I mean, you got like the cardboard waves in the background here. It's pretty nice. Wow, like 3 pirates disappeared before the ship even docked. Oh god! Oh god! What is this? What is this?
This is not a finished game. This is not a finished game.
Now we have to throw barrels at a ship. Why? Why?
There goes gravity.
Oh, what's happening? Okay, just stop somewhere and let me watch something. Oh, I feel like I accidentally hit the DVR button one too many times.
I'm sorry, but that's all the patience I have. PlayStation All-Stars is pretty good. Brawlhalla is not even finished and it's still pretty good. But Cartoon Network's Punch Time Explosion is an abomination. It's like a half-baked cake. Not even a cake, like a half-baked piece of chicken. It's still slimy in the middle. I feel disgusting playing it.
Punch Time Explosion rips off not just Smash Bros, but several other games and relies on their success to fuel its success. Punch Time Explosion should be more appropriately titled Cartoon Network's I Can't Believe It's Not Smash Brothers.
Who would do that? That's despicable. Why? Why? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to be original? Isn't that right, Pierre?
Of course.
Hello, and thank you for watching. A new year means new episodes, and the best way to make sure you don't miss any of those is to hit that big old subscribe button up there. And if you like this, why not show your friends and check out some of my other videos? I work pretty hard on them.